I'm assuming this is where the town was started, since this is the church. You can feel it's really old here. The streets are really narrow. Yeah, this looks old down here. Let's walk around there. It's in French, so I can translate it for you after. Today, it's a small village, but La Prairie evolved at the end of the 17th century in the context of a war against the Iroquois. The village was an old defense area. It was intended to be one of the many neighborhoods in Nouvelle-France. It was after the British conquered in 1775 that the palisade of La Prairie was dismantled. So it was supposed to become a big neighborhood, and it never made it because the English won. All right, let's go see, because this certainly looks old. Oh yeah, look how old that stone is. Pretty old guy standing in front of it too, but must have belonged to the church, whoever the minister or priest more. Yeah, that's really old. The town itself has a cute feel to it. It doesn't feel like a down and out Quebecois typical town. I've driven through many. Oh yeah, that barn, look how old that is. I'm not sure where to even begin looking for family names. I saw a cemetery on the way in, but it's not part of the old town, so I'm gonna stop in a cafe and ask if this is the extent of the old town, and if there is a monument or something in the center, or if there's another cemetery that's older, maybe, to look for those family names. But I thought you'd like to just get a vibe of what this place looks like. You know, that style of apartment's super old for here. Yeah, this is old too. Whenever the roads are this narrow, yeah, it's old. Probably old horse stable in there. A lot of these old apartments had little cutouts like that and courtyards in the middle, and they originally were for horses. This looks super old too. I don't know what it is. It's a theater, but anyway. Oh yeah, this is really old. This is cute here. Historical Society. Guided visits, Historical Society. Damn, well, I'm too late for those. To come back another time. Maybe the old schoolhouse. It says Literary Society. Could be anything. Post office. You know, St. George, it's everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna go. Yeah, it feels a bit haunted, I gotta say, some places. Cour de Bourg, okay, the heart of the village. Oh, the old market would have been down this road, okay. Huh. Well, if this is heart of the village, this must be... I sort of thought there'd be some sort of central monument or statue or something. Is that just the highway? Is it? It's just the highway, okay. I thought maybe there'd be a river. Well, it's on Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, so the Richelieu River should run through here somewhere. Yeah, this is old. Holy. Oh yeah, that's totally old. Oh, you never know, Dad, you know. Great-grandparents could have walked right through here where I'm standing. Well, if you want to look up some of these, if they're in French or just in English, but friends and owners of ancient houses. Nice gardens in here. Maison Sauvageau, okay, was reconstructed in 1847, integrating stone, acquired in 1836, 17th century style, southwest side of the palisade, so the old city, the old borough drawing that they had, southwest corner of it, 1687. Parts of it were found in 1995. Part of a general store that burned down in 1876. It was acquired by two other French guys in 1972. Okay. Here we go, Maison Lefebvre. Joseph Lefebvre bought this in 1729, constructed it in wood, piece by piece, with chimneys. It was the only building in La Prairie built originally by the French regime. Huh. Well, I wonder that feels haunted too. Yeah, these are so old. It makes me feel like I'm in Europe here because everything is old and like narrow and tight to the street. And it's funny, you know, they would have had all this bloody space and they still built as if they were in Europe. Well, there's a nice view of the church tower from afar. Nice old stucco. There's another placard I can look at. Okay. Geographically advantageous position. The Lachine Rapids, which were crossed by Samuel Champlain on one of his voyages, was already distinguished La Prairie with lots of brush and herbs to cross over across the water. Probably the Saint Jacques River gave access to the Richelieu Valley and the St. Lawrence. It was an attractive place, close to Montreal and Place Royale and the Lachine Rapids. Okay. Okay. Well, it's an insurance company, but I bet that was something special in its day. Andre Robidoux. Bought this in 1671. It's hard to read this thing. After one of his children died in April 1678. He had, it says, thousands of descendants. In North America, okay. Oh, it's in English. It's one of the first residents here. Okay, so anyway, sounds like he sired a lot of people in this. Okay. All right. Archaeology museum. Interesting. Okay. And true to form, over there you can see a city wall. That's what they did, right? The French just, well, English too, they all just built walls around their cities. And then they were nasty. When I was in England, I heard too many stories of people throwing people over the city wall if they were sick, If they had the plague, they threw them over the wall. They poured lye on them and they left them there to die. Stuff like that. Okay, that is bloody old. Creepy too. Look at the bars on the windows. Who knows what the hell that was? It'd be the jail. Huh. Okay, there's another little park in the wall and there's a sign over there. Oh. It's too hard to read. It's all faded out and my French ain't that great. Oh, huh. Huh. Okay, now this is an interesting story to tell you. Okay, this is the home of Émilie Gamelin, founded the Sisters of Providence in 1846. Did you know in 2000, what year was that? Yeah, around 2003 or 4, I was commissioned by somebody to make costumes at the Oratoire, at the St. Joseph's Oratory. And I was also commissioned to make costumes for a performance commemorating the life of Émilie Gamelin. And the Cardinal and everybody came to see this performance, and I did all the dancing costumes. This is too crazy. Oh my goodness. It's just crazy when you start digging all these links that are there. Now, hopefully somebody's bloody translated this one. It's so crazy to think English people don't want to access their history too. Like, yeah. Oh, it's translated. Yes. Fort La Prairie, yeah, there we go. So, built between 1687 and 1689, Fort La Prairie was used as a refuge and a defensive outpost for Montreal at a time of European conflict that increased tension between the Haudenosaunee Confederacy and the French settlers. In 1691, a force of French Huron, Wendat, Anishinaabe, Mohawk, Kanawaki, and Kanesatake, and other First Nations defeated an attack by a group composed of Kaninaki, Mohicans, and the New York militia at La Prairie. The fort fell out of use following the 1713 Treaty of Utrecht. Few traces remain, yet the fort's shape can be seen in the layout of the surrounding lots and streets. Well, made it into a Canadian history thing. So here's where the battle went down. And now it's just a highway. Okay, so beyond the highway you can see the river. So yeah, this fortress wall would have been overlooking people coming down the river to fire at, I guess. Obviously newer buildings. They look quite nice, actually. Like it, obviously somebody gave them money for window replacements. Oh, there's another nice view. Quite the impressive church. You know, not every town you go to has like such a fancy church steeple, so obviously French were intending this to be like a stronghold. Then they lost. Ha 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 ha. Oh yeah, these look old. That's fancy. Cabs. So certainly, obviously, the dividing line, the wall of from the battlement ended here, and I walked a straight line, and this is all old on this side, and it's all new on this side. Yeah, like that, whatever that barn window is, that's not usual. There's a nice view. Well, those are old. Still can't get over that connection to Emily Gamelin. Boy, that just gives me shivers, you know? I was asked out of nowhere to do that. There was no reason to choose me. There's plenty of costume designers. Oh yeah, that's old. Stairs. Hopefully that's not the original. Okay, Maison Paul Thomas. Ah, Thomas. Wonder if that means a connection to Mom's side now. This small house of wood was made by Paul Thomas in the middle of the 19th century, conserving the foundations of the preceding house from Raphael Brasseau in 1813. Okay, so Thomas rebuilt it. In this period, there was a lot of auberge, or cottages and hotels. Okay, lots of hotel, okay. So I guess a number of people must have still come over here to stay for whatever reasons. I'm gonna cut through the park. This looks just all modern houses here. Maybe I'll find another sign or plaque somewhere. Hi, puppy. Well, that's definitely an old city wall. Yeah, the church grounds, okay. I'm not sure now how many First Nations still live in La Prairie. We're not far from Kanawage here, though. Or Chateauguay, or all these different places. Like, we're not far from it. It's hard to say whether, English and French pushed them out and they can't afford to live where they won the battle. Not sure. I'll have to dig into that. There's a heck of a view. That's nice. That is one fancy ass church for that time. And that outbuilding behind here, like, that is so old. I don't see a sign though. Oh Jesus, yeah, look at like the old, oh, that might have been some sort of old jail there, actually. Oh, here's a sign. Hi. Okay, 1689. First cemetery in La Prairie. Made of wood. Then it moved to the north of the village. (1705) First church of Saint Pierre in 1702. It was outside the borders of the palisade, so that means, the old town that they were trying to build. 1705, they opened the church. 1766, the first walls were put up around the cemetery. 1817, expanded the cemetery. 1834, somebody put the charnier on Pierre. Stone something, I don't know what that is. And 1841, the church was realized or finished, or starting to build, and then 1889 finished. Funeral practices. That's their old coffin style. Looks pretty creepy. Looks like it's made of metal or something. I'll have to look that up later and translate it. Archaeological things they found. Okay. I wonder if those were originally stained glass windows. Looks like they are on the inside. I guess they're protected with the other outer ones. That's unusual too. Okay, and we're back to the front of the church square. So we've done a little walkabout of the old village there. So I'll ask some people at the cafe and I'll let you know what I find.